The first lesson was a mistake. The training hall was silent. Cold metal walls surrounded the room, filled with strange symbols glowing faintly. It didn't look like any gym on Earth. It wasn't. This place was built by the Galactic Council, on Earth but with alien technology. 12 humans stood in a row, all chosen by the Council to learn something never taught to humans before: alien martial arts. Across from them stood 5 tall, alien warriors. Their skin was dark blue, their eyes glowing like fireflies. They moved with quiet grace, as if every step was part of a fight. Their leader was Master Yorak, a veteran of 1,000 battles known across 3 star systems. He stepped forward. "You are here," Yorak said in a deep, echoing voice, "to learn Takareth Vol, the warrior, dance of the Vakari people. Your bodies are soft, your minds are slow, but today you will begin." Among the humans was Logan. He wore simple clothes, stood in the back, and didn't say much. He was tall, but not bulky. His eyes were tired, as if carrying a heavy past. He had never been in a real fight, not even a schoolyard one. He wasn't supposed to be here. The council had chosen him by mistake, or that's what everyone thought. "Watch closely," said Yorak. He showed the first move, a spin, a drop, and a sweeping leg strike that could break bones. Fast, sharp, clean. The other humans stared, confused. One tried to copy it and fell. Another pulled a muscle. Laughter echoed from one of the aliens. But Logan, he moved forward, slowly copying every step. He tried once, failed, tried again. Then something strange happened. His body flowed into the move perfectly, almost like muscle memory, as if he had done this before in a dream. Yorak raised an eyebrow. "Again," he said. Logan repeated the move, faster, sharper. Yorak stepped back. He called to his assistant, in a whisper. "Humans should not be able to do this. Not this fast," the assistant nodded nervously. "We've only just started. Maybe it's luck." Yorak wasn't convinced. "Luck doesn't break rhythm. He's syncing with the art." Next, Yorak demonstrated a more complex combination: a kick, turn, elbow strike, then a leap. It took Vakari children 2 weeks to get right. Logan watched. Then he closed his eyes. His body moved, step by step, exactly like Yorak. The room fell silent. Even the other aliens stopped breathing. Then Logan added a small twist to the move. Something he wasn't taught. A new angle. A faster path. And somehow, it was better. "Stop," Yorak said, stepping forward. He looked into Logan's eyes. "Where did you learn this?" "I didn't," Logan answered calmly. "I just felt it. Felt it." That word made the aliens uneasy. Yorak reached for a scanner and waved it over Logan's skin. His eyes widened as he read the results. "He's adapting," Yorak muttered. "Not just learning. His muscles are copying our flow patterns. His nerves, they're syncing like one of us." One of the younger alien warriors, Razek, growled, "This is dangerous. Takareth Vol is not for humans." Another alien stepped forward. "He could be evolving." The human students started whispering. "What's going on? Why is everyone looking at Logan like that?" Yorak took a deep breath and turned back to the class. "Enough for today," he said. "Training is over." Logan stayed still. His eyes didn't blink. Deep inside, something had woken up, something that felt ancient. As the students left the hall, Razek walked up to Yorak. "If he keeps going, he'll pass phase 1 by tomorrow." "That took me 7 years, Yorak whispered. Razek shook his head. "We made a mistake." Yorak stared at Logan walking away. "No," he said darkly. "We've made something else." The next morning, the alien training hall buzzed with silent tension. Master Yorak arrived early, staring at the holographic report floating above his wrist. It showed Logan's body scans. Something was wrong. Too wrong. Logan's muscles had strengthened by 4% overnight. Impossible for an unmodified human. His neural activity was more active during sleep than while awake, and worst of all, a strange energy pattern was forming in his spine. Yorick had seen it only once, long ago, on a battlefield filled with bodies. He closed the scan and turned as the humans entered. Logan walked quietly, eyes focused, face calm. But there was something different about him now. His steps were lighter, more silent, like a predator learning to hide its footsteps. Rezek, the four-armed alien warrior, growled from the corner. "Let me spar him," he said. "One round." Yorick shook his head. "He's not ready." "He's not ready?" Rezek scoffed. "Or we're not ready for him." Logan stepped onto the mat and bowed, copying the alien custom perfectly. Too perfectly. Yorick decided to test something. "Today," he said, "you will all repeat the Tikareth spiral. It is advanced. It takes months to learn." He demonstrated a powerful rotating movement that mixed defense and attack at the same time. Even among alien warriors, it was considered dangerous. The humans struggled. But Logan? He didn't just perform it. He did it in reverse, then faster, without being taught. His hands spun in the air like curved blades, and his body moved like flowing water. The other students froze. Even the alien stopped speaking. One of the alien assistants leaned toward Yorick. "He is not copying anymore. He is improving it." Logan stopped, breathing softly. "Was that wrong?" he asked. No one answered. Just then, the lights in the hall flickered. For a second, Yorick thought he saw something behind Logan, a shadow, not physical, something older. He stepped back. Class dismissed. The students left, all except Logan. He approached Yorick slowly. "Master?" he asked. "I see things in my dreams. Alien places, people, fights, wars, but they feel like memories." Yorick didn't answer. He knew what Logan was describing. The war echoes, a curse that only infected alien children born on war-torn worlds. But Logan was human, and born on Earth. He shouldn't be seeing any of this. Later that night, Yorick met with the Council's science officer. "We scanned him again," the officer said. "There's a memory signature in his DNA, genetic echoes. Someone or something burned battle instincts into his body. It's not learning, it's unlocking." "Unlocking what?" Yorick asked. The officer whispered, "A weapon, a living one." Meanwhile, in the city, Logan walked alone through the night streets. The stars above looked familiar now. His body felt strange, too light, too fast. At one point, a speeding hoverbike almost hit him. His body moved without thinking, flipping into the air. He landed softly on the sidewalk. People stared. Logan kept walking. Back in his room, he stared at his hands. The fingers moved like they didn't belong to him. He made the spiral move again. Then another he hadn't been taught. He wasn't just learning anymore. He was remembering, elsewhere in space. In a quiet, dark part of the galaxy, a sealed vault suddenly blinked to life. A red alert flashed in old alien symbols. "Human subject activated," the screen read. Phase 1 reached. Code, Tikareth Black. The ancient system sent a signal. Someone, or something, received it and began to move. Yorick stood in his private chamber staring at the ceiling. "I've trained warriors for 300 years, he whispered. But Logan is something else. He picked up an old weapon, a blade made of memory metal. If he keeps going, we may have to stop him. Outside, Logan trained alone in the moonlight. His movements were silent, graceful, and unnatural, and deep in his chest, something ancient was waking up. The sun hadn't yet risen over Earth's training base, but the hall was packed. Word had spread. A human was mastering Tikareth Vol faster than any alien ever had. And now, Master Yorick had arranged something rare. A public sparring match. Not for fun. Not for honor, but to see what Logan really was. The crowd was mixed. Humans in clean uniforms, aliens in strange robes, council officials with floating cameras. All eyes watched the center of the ring, where two warriors stood, Logan and Razek. Razek wasn't just an alien warrior. He was a champion of the Vakari dueling pits. 4 arms, bone plates on his shoulders, and a record of crushing opponents even with one hand tied behind his back. He smiled as he cracked his knuckles. "Don't worry, human," he said. "I'll keep you alive, mostly." Logan didn't smile back. He just nodded. Master Yorak raised a hand. "Begin." The bell rang. Razek charged. The first blow was fast. 2 arms swung down while the other 2 spun low. It was a trap. It had ended fights in seconds. But Logan wasn't there. He had vanished. In a blur, he had slid past Razek's arms and moved behind him, placing 2 fingers on his back. Just a tap. Razek turned fast, angry, swinging wildly. But Logan ducked, twisted, moved like smoke. No wasted movement. No panic. Just flow. The aliens watching leaned forward. "He's using Phase 2 motion patterns," one whispered. But he was never taught them. Razek roared and finally caught Logan's arm. He grinned, until Logan spun midair and used the momentum to flip Razek onto the ground. Boom! The floor shook. Silence. Razek blinked, stunned. He tried to rise, but Logan was already standing over him, hand pressed lightly to Razek's chest. A single strike position, directly to the heart line. If it had been real, Razek would be dead. Master Yorak stepped forward slowly. "It's over," gasps, murmurs. The council cameras zoomed in. The Galactic observers were shocked. A human had just beaten a 4-armed alien champion. Not by luck. By instinct. Backstage, Master Yorak spoke with the council envoy. "You saw it," he said. He moved before Razek did. He knew the sequence. The envoy nodded slowly. He didn't learn it. He predicted it, and improved it. They both fell silent. Then the envoy asked, "Should we stop his training?" Yorak didn't answer. He just stared at Logan, still on the mat, bowing quietly. No pride, no smile, just stillness. That night, Logan sat on the rooftop of the academy. The stars above shimmered, but one of them flickered unnaturally. He stared at it, whispering, "I remember you." He didn't know why. His hand formed another unfamiliar move, a fast punch and twist, a combo even the aliens hadn't seen before. It came from a place deeper than thought. His body knew a language his mind hadn't learned yet. Somewhere far away, in a hidden chamber deep beneath a frozen moon, ancient machines came alive. A voice whispered in static, "Human subject, Alpha Red, has passed Trial 3. Weapon protocol unlocked." A cold metal hand reached up from a dark pit. The galaxy had just noticed Logan. In the quiet hall after everyone had left, Razek sat alone, touching his bruised chest. He stared at the floor, then whispered to himself, "That wasn't a fight. That was a warning." And far above Earth in deep space an old enemy smiled. "They've made another one," it said. "Time to finish what we started." The night after the match, the academy lights flickered again. But it wasn't a power issue. Something was shifting. Master Yorak stood alone in the central meditation room, ancient texts floating around him. Pages of energy. Scripts only a few could read now. They told stories of warriors long forgotten, of techniques sealed away, for a reason. He found the one he feared. The spiral of the echoed blade, a move from the ancient war. A forbidden technique that had caused the fall of an entire alien empire. It had vanished from memory, until today, because Logan had used it, not perfectly, not consciously. But his body remembered. Yorak whispered, "How can a human echo the war styles of the extinct Varkal?" No answer, only silence. Meanwhile, Logan sat in the academy garden under a fake moonlight dome. He had stopped sleeping, not because he didn't want to, but because every Time he closed his eyes, he dreamed of battle. Alien cities, skyfire weapons, armies shouting in languages he didn't know but understood. And always, he was in the middle, fighting like a shadow among giants. His hands moved slowly through the air. He didn't think. He just let them move. Each step flowed into another. Each block and strike felt like second nature. Then something changed. His body twisted into a new form, an inverted spiral slash, one that even his instructors had never shown. Suddenly, a soft voice interrupted him. "You shouldn't be doing that." Logan turned fast. It was Isla, one of the alien instructors. She had always watched him from a distance. Her skin shimmered faintly like mist. Her eyes were bright but sad. "That move," she whispered. "Where did you learn it?" "I didn't," Logan said. "It came on its own." Isla stepped forward. "My father was one of the last Varkal. He used that move once, in the war, right before everything burned." Logan felt cold. "Then why is it inside me?" Isla didn't answer. She only looked at him with fear. "You need to stop. If you go further, the techniques will pull something out of you, something you might not control." The next day, the council sent a secret test. 3 alien masters disguised themselves as new students. They entered the class silently. Logan felt something was off, but said nothing. During training, one of the students stumbled toward him. Logan reached to help, and that's when the attack came. A flash, a blade, an elbow. A silent strike meant to break bone, but Logan didn't flinch. His body reacted. No thinking, no plan. He dodged, spun, and countered, using the shadow vault technique, a move lost for 900 years. One of the attackers gasped. "It's true, he's copying the vault itself." Yorick rushed in, ordering them to stand down, but Logan stood frozen. He wasn't angry. He was afraid. What am I becoming? That night, Logan sat alone again. But this time, Isla came with a small cube, a memory stone. She placed it in his hand. "This belonged to my father," she said. "It shows the last war, the final battle." Logan activated it. A hologram burst into the air. Alien warriors charging. Armies falling. One figure moving like light, cutting down everything in his path. It was not Isla's father. It was Logan. Same face. Same eyes. Ayla whispered. "That man destroyed 6 fleets, then disappeared. He wasn't born on any known world. The council called him the uncoded one." Logan stared, heart racing. "Then who am I?" Far away, beyond the edge of the known stars, an old station blinked awake. A symbol burned into its ancient walls, the spiral of death. Inside, a creature wrapped in metal armor sat still. "He has awakened," the machine said. "The weapon walks again." Master Yorick stared into the dark sky from his tower. "We never should have taught humans," he said quietly. "We didn't unlock their minds. We unsealed something older." Below, Logan trained alone, his movements now glowing faintly with alien energy. Each motion called forgotten ghosts back to life, and the galaxy was watching. The great chamber of the Galactic Council hovered in orbit above a blue-white gas giant. Made of black crystal and starlight metal, the building had seen peace agreements, war declarations, and interstellar betrayals. But nothing prepared it for one human boy named Logan. Representatives of 29 species gathered. Some floated in tanks, some buzzed with wings, others wore masks to hide emotion. Master Yorick stood at the center, his face unreadable. "The human," he began, "has reached the 5th forbidden form." Gasps rippled through the room. "That's impossible," said the fish-skinned ambassador from Eltraxis. "No human should survive even the 2nd form." Yorick nodded. "He didn't just survive. He's evolving through it. Faster than any Vakari ever did. Faster than our ancestors. And he's remembering things we never taught." A sharp voice cut through the silence. It was Zulema, the war priestess from the Vari Dominion. Her eyes burned like twin suns. He is not a student anymore, she said. He is a danger. A weapon without a master. We should end him now. Several nodded, but others stood against her. The Irani representative, a small being wrapped in thought waves, said gently, "What if he is the next step? We banned those forms out of fear, not wisdom. Maybe he is the balance we lost." Yorek looked down. "I don't know what he is, but I know this. Logan didn't choose to become this. We made him. On Earth." Logan stood alone in the now empty dojo. The council had shut down training. No more students, no more instructors. Just silence. But Logan couldn't stop. His dreams had changed again. Now he didn't just see the battles. He heard voices calling his name. Not Logan, something older. Valek. He had no idea what it meant, but every time he heard it, his heart beat like a war drum. He moved silently across the mat, arms cutting through the air, each strike faster than before. Then, crack, the air itself split open in a brief flash. A ripple. Like space was being punched, Logan dropped to his knees, sweating, afraid. I didn't mean to, but no one was there to listen. Back at the council, arguments turned to shouting. "He's already opened a rift," Zulema shouted. "That technique was sealed after it collapsed an entire moon. He doesn't understand it." Yorak replied. "He's a child walking through a minefield." The insectoid general of the Sarkesh leaned forward. "Then train him, or terminate him." The council voted. 14 species wanted Logan protected. 13 wanted him eliminated. 2 abstained deadlock, but then the central AI of the council chamber blinked once and said, "Incoming encrypted broadcast, unauthorized origin." The room went still. A hologram flickered to life, a masked figure with a low mechanical voice. "Council members, this is a warning. The spiral child has awakened. Your debates are meaningless. He does not belong to your politics." Zulema shouted. "Who are you?" The figure's voice was calm. "I am one of the 9. We are the keepers of the old styles, and you've just unleashed something you cannot put back." The figure vanished. That night, on Earth, a silver dagger-shaped ship entered the atmosphere, silent and cloaked. It landed near the Academy ruins. From it stepped 3 figures, tall, cloaked in energy armor, their eyes glowing deep red. They were not from the council. They were from the Old Circle, a forgotten cult that believed the forbidden techniques should never be reborn. Their mission was clear. Kill Logan before he reaches the final form. Logan, still kneeling on the mat, felt the ground tremble. Something was coming. Stood up slowly, breathing deep. Not with fear, but readiness. Master Yorick looked down at Earth from the orbiting chamber. "They sent assassins," he whispered. A fellow master asked, "Should we warn him?" Yorick closed his eyes. "No. If he is truly the spiral child, he doesn't need our warning. They need a grave." The wind outside the Earth dojo whispered warnings. Leaves didn't just fall. They spun like they were being pulled by something. The stars above flickered unnaturally, as if holding their breath. Inside the abandoned training hall, Logan stood alone. No lights, no warmth, only silence, and something ancient breathing through his skin. He felt it hours before they came. He didn't know how, but he knew. Far outside the academy, a silent ship hovered just above the treetops. It had no markings, no lights, no insignias. Just cold, metal, and 3 beings cloaked in dark, shifting armor. They were not here to talk. They were here to erase. The leader stepped forward. Her voice was like steel cutting through glass. "We must strike before he reaches the final phase. Once he awakens fully, it will be too late." Another replied, "He is still just human." The leader paused. No, he was human. Inside the dojo, Logan stood still, eyes closed, barefoot. He wasn't training. He was listening. He could hear everything now. the soft hum of a power cell outside, the sharp click of a landing foot 200 meters away, the strange pulse of alien weapons, charging. Then, he heard something inside his own body, a voice, not in words, in movement. It is time. The assassins broke through the roof like falling shadows. The first landed with a flash, blades drawn, striking straight for Logan's head. But Logan was no longer standing where they expected. He was airborne, twisting sideways, faster than thought. His heel came down on the attacker's shoulder, crushing the armor like it was made of paper. The second attacker roared, activating a sonic whip. The weapon cracked through the air. Logan moved through it, not around it, through it. His body bent at impossible angles, dodging between sound waves. Then he placed a single finger on the whip's core. Boom! The weapon shattered. The third assassin launched a bolt of dark energy. It hit Logan directly in the chest. Smoke. Fire. The dojo roof split apart. They waited, scanning for his body. But when the smoke cleared, Logan was still standing, not burned, not bleeding, but glowing. Soft silver. Lines were forming over his skin, patterns like sacred runes. The lead assassin took a step back. That's impossible. Logan's voice was calm. I didn't ask for this, but you keep coming. The ground beneath him cracked slightly. Then he moved. And the fight ended. Not in minutes, in seconds. One assassin was thrown through the wall. Another was folded mid-air by a twist of his wrist. The leader tried to teleport and ended up disarmed, her weapon spinning away in mid-air, hovering near Logan's fingertips. He didn't grab it. He just looked at her. Why do you want me dead? The leader coughed blood. Because you're not supposed to exist. Logan stepped closer. Then maybe it's time your people updated the rules. He let her live. Barely. Hours later, Earth's emergency satellites recorded the wreckage. The dojo was gone, burned into a circle of glass. In the center, Logan stood calmly, arms folded, looking up at the sky. Master Yorick watched the footage from orbit. He whispered to himself. That wasn't training, that was war reflex. He didn't learn that move, he remembered it. In a secret archive far from the Galactic core, a sealed vault unlocked itself. Inside was a black cube labeled Galactic 0. It powered on. A message played from 6,000 years ago. If the spiral child awakens again, do not stop him. Do not control him. Only one choice remains. Let him finish what we could not. Logan stared at his hands. The glowing symbols faded, but the feeling did not. Not fear, not pride, clarity. He whispered one word, one he had never heard before. Valak. And in the cold silence of space, a massive, ancient ship began to turn toward Earth. Above Earth, the stars looked the same, but something had changed. Far beyond the solar system, an ancient vessel moved, massive, silent, and hidden for thousands of years. It was not built by any known species. It was older than the Council. Older than war. The ship's name had long been erased, but its mission lived on. Inside its silent halls, thousands of dark figures slept in stasis, beings who once followed the spiral child into the great battle that split galaxies. Now they were waking up. Logan sat alone on a stone cliff, watching the burning remains of the dojo far below. Ash rose into the sky. His shirt was torn, skin marked with glowing lines that pulsed gently, like a heartbeat he didn't understand. He wasn't tired. He wasn't human anymore. Not fully. But he still felt human. His mind fought the truth even as his body revealed. Beside him stood Master Yorick, silent. For the first time in his long life, the alien master didn't speak with wisdom, but with hesitation. Yorick finally said, "The galaxy is moving. The old ones are waking. You are the signal." Logan didn't look at him. Then I wish I had stayed asleep. You were born for this. No, Logan replied softly. I was made for it. That's not the same thing. At the council station, chaos had erupted. Footage of Logan defeating the assassins had leaked across networks. Entire worlds watched, it in awe and fear. Species that once saw humans as weak now questioned everything. Some planets worshipped Logan as a returning god. Others called for his destruction. Arguments turned into threats. The Vari Dominion declared, if the Spiral Child rises, we will burn Earth before he reaches his final form. The Urani replied, if you raise one weapon against him, we will stand with the human. Galactic unity fractured, and all because one human had learned to move like a memory. In a quiet, hidden chamber on Mars, Logan found a stone doorway, buried deep below the planet's surface. The air buzzed as he stepped inside. The walls glowed. At his presence, inside was a sphere of light. As he touched it, his mind was pulled back into a past that wasn't his, but was inside him. He saw himself standing on a battlefield surrounded by fire, a weapon that bent light and sound. Armies, both alien and human, kneeling before him, a final fight, where he had chosen to seal away his power and erase all records. The name Valak echoed again. Not a name, a title. The spiral that destroys to protect. The ancient vessel entered Earth's orbit without warning. It didn't fire, didn't speak. It simply waited. Its presence caused tidal shifts. Communication systems failed. Gravity flickered. Then it sent a message. Only one line. Command accept Spiral Child. Legacy awaits. From it, a single being stepped down. Tall, silver-skinned, face smooth like polished stone, eyes filled with light. He walked to Logan without fear. You were our end. Now you must choose. Be the beginning. Logan stood quietly. I didn't ask for this power. The figure nodded. But now you must choose what to do with it. Will you fight again, or teach? Back at the council, warships prepared for battle. Earth readied defenses, but Logan didn't take a weapon. He walked into space aboard the ancient ship and stood before the sleeping warriors. He raised his hand, and then he bowed. I will not lead war, he said. I will teach peace through strength. If any race wants to learn not to conquer but to protect, I will show them. One by one, the sleeping warriors kneeled in silence. The old cycle of destruction was broken. Logan became something new. Not a soldier, not a killer, but a teacher. The galaxy didn't forget Logan. From frozen moons to desert worlds, students of all species trained in spiral defense, a new martial art, based not on victory but survival. Logan traveled alone, refusing titles, wearing no symbols. He stayed humble, always walking, always teaching. Even old enemies sent students to learn from him, but the legend never faded. They said if a planet ever needed him, he would hear the call. If injustice returned, the spiral would rise again. On a distant world, a girl with violet skin practiced alone in the dust. A gang of raiders approached. She stood ready, but afraid. They mocked her, until a quiet voice spoke from behind them. Let her finish her form. They turned. Logan stood there, older now, cloak blowing in the wind. His eyes glowed softly. The spiral had returned. He was once a student, then a threat, then a god. But in the end, he became the teacher of the galaxy.